If the Raptors are going to be tanking, they executed this one perfectly. They played a great game and were in every position to win this one, especially up one with 7 seconds left, but let it slip. And as far as the tank battles go, a very big loss to the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference. Let's break it down in tonight's post-game show. If you guys like what you see from the content, reminder to hit that like button to support the channel. And we do content like this for pretty much every Raptors game, so make sure you're subscribed to keep up to date with all of that on the way. But the Raptors, for the very first time this season, really committed to a tank. All season, for the first 45 games, I maintained that, trust me guys, the Raptors are out here trying to win games. They are not actively looking to tank. Well, that changed today. Poetl maybe could have played Quickley, I'm not sure, but definitely, I would be very shocked if RJ Barrett in an important game would have been out tonight. RJ Barrett missed tonight's game with knee inflammation. Sounds a little bit made up to me. Whatever it was, it felt like for the first time today, the Raptors were very much looking towards tanking. And despite all that, they had a very good game, a very good performance, albeit against a not-so-great Hawks team who has also been struggling this season. The Atlanta Hawks came in today's game 18-27 on the season, far below their expectations as well. But the Hawks also came into tonight's game as 6.5-point favorites, 5.5, 6.5-point favorites. So my expectations, Raptors, we're not going to cover that even. But in the end, the Raptors go down 27-16 early. Another first half where they go down by 10 or more. But they fought back well with the bench. They had some really nice individual performances, especially from Jordan Nwora, who unbelievably had a great game. We'll get to him in just a second here. But despite all that, they kept it close. They kept themselves in the game. And even off of a Trae Young error, off a steal, take a 1-point lead with 7 seconds remaining. And it comes down to one final play where you need to stop. And personally, I felt like the Raptors did a very, very poor job in defending the final play. Right after they'd done a very, very poor job in trying to get the basket on the other end. Now, thankfully, they got the steal and the easy dunk off of that steal. But from what I thought was a very mostly well-done game by Darko Rakovic as head coach, you know, as a young team here that is learning to win, perhaps it is a young coach still figuring out how to win as well. And that's where the game ultimately crumbles for the Raptors. But again, if tanking is the mindset, if we're hoping to be using that first-round pick this season, getting into the bottom six, if that is what the Raptors are focused on, this was as good as it can get. You're in a very competitive game. You had young players like Scotty Barnes and Grady Dick out there for a late-game crunch time situation, and you still lose. And it's a big loss as well for the Tankathon standings because the Raptors will fall now full 3 games back of the Atlanta Hawks. They are bottom 6 in the NBA. With a bottom 6 record, the Raptors would have a 45% chance of using their pick this season, which is top 6 protected, sent to the San Antonio Spurs. Only 45%. And if the Raptors were to fall under the Portland Trail Blazers, which I suppose is possible, they would have a 63% chance of using their pick. If they do finish above Memphis or whoever and finish 7th, I believe it is about a 31% chance to use their pick. So even if they do tank, not a guarantee they will use their pick. But regardless, it kind of feels like today was the first of many tanking sort of games. Now, on the court, decision-making, I want to reiterate, players don't tank, and I very firmly believe that Darko was trying to win the game out there as coach. I thought game plan-wise, this one was pretty good, especially first half. They took away Trae Young drives, made life difficult for him. That was positive. Where it kind of went away, a much better second half. The Raptors struggled with the Atlanta Hawks adjustments, but still kept it close with some good offense being displayed by the Raptors overall. Where there was maybe some faults in Darko's coaching tonight, I think he still struggles to deviate away from his pre-game set rotations almost. It felt like Jordan Nwora, the only reason Jordan Nwora closed the game, who had been so good tonight, which again, it sounds crazy if you didn't watch the game, but we'll get there. Jordan Noir only came back in because Dennis Schroeder fouled out. But, like, he didn't play. He was, like, the best Raptor on the floor tonight. He should have been in earlier. So, deviate away from his, like, pregame set rotations. Sometimes the problem, not playing like the guy who's playing really well. And just the final play calling was pretty poor. But other than that, Darko, I'll give him credit. Coached the game pretty well, set out the game plan pretty well. Where the play calling, I think, was bad at the end, well, when the Raptors needed a bucket, they went ISO with Scotty Barnes on Clint Capella. I get you kind of go down with your guy, but not the most talented ISO player, with all due respect to Scotty Barnes. Amazing player, not a great ball handler guy. Could have ran some more actions to get him downhill, kick an opportunity. That's what I would have done. On defense, Trae Young got the ball, got a big runway, blew past Bruce Brown, kind of the play we should have run. And there was no help defenders there. With 7 seconds left, like Trae Young puts it up. He misses the shot, the kind of scoop shot that he made a bunch during the game. But rebounding was a problem all game as well on the offensive glass. They get 20 offensive rebounds, and there was the final one. I believe it was Sadiq Bey who puts it in at the rim at the end. Like, the Raptors defended pretty well from three for sure. The Hawks go 6 of 27 from three, but in the paint, like, you could really tell Poetl was missing. And I get the Raptors don't have that rim presence, but I mean, there are better ways to coach around it than Thaddeus Young being out there, especially in the last play of the game. That went minus 18. Like, why is it not Barnes? Why is it not Barnes at the rim? The help defense there. That was a mistake. But some individual performances were good tonight. Thad and Bruce Brown were not two of the players who had good individual performances, but Scotty Barnes had a great game in the end. 8 of 14, 8 of 8 from the line, which was nice. 24 points, 8 rebounds. 8 assists, 4 rebounds. A very nice game from Scotty Barnes, other than the turnovers there. Gary Trent, a positive game here. I thought he could have used some more minutes, but perhaps the minus 19 is a reason we didn't get more. 16 points, 6 of 12, 4 of 8 from 3. We'll see if he's a trade candidate coming up, but a solid game from Gary Trent. When he's open, he's been hitting his threes this season. Dennis Schroeder was solid, 5 of 12, 14 points, 6 assists, 4 steals before he fouled out. But definitely the performance tonight comes off the bench. And the bench in particular showed some great things today. Boucher didn't do much statistically, but he was plus 14. Jordan Nwora, best player for the Raptors tonight. Rather unbelievably. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 1 turnover, 3 of 7 from 3. He forced a steal late for the Raptors to take the lead. Yeah, I don't know. I've had some harsh words for Nwora since he arrived. Nobody was expecting this. My goodness. So, hey, for now, especially Raptors tanking, absolutely continue to get Jordan Nwora involved and just kind of see what you have for the rest of the season and earn the next little stretch here. I will remind everybody, thinking back to the last tank season for the Raptors, the Tampa season, there were some random guys who exploded for good nights. Like we had a Paul Watson Jr. 30-point night one day. Then literally the next day, second night of the back-to-back, he scores 0. So, one game isn't fully indicative of a player's ability. We'll see with Jordan Nwora, but don't get too excited here. But give him his flowers here. What an amazing performance by Jordan Nwora here, who is, after all, UFA of the season, fighting for his next NBA contract. Also off the bench, Porter goes 3 of 4 from 3. One of his better nights offensively. Defensively still, a bit lacking. 7 rebounds is nice, but some opportunities for more that probably a big should be getting weren't happening is what it is. Solid game from Porter. Grady Dick was maybe his most impressive night I've seen from him in his NBA career. 15 points, 5 of 12 from the field. Missed a couple down low he probably should have had, but didn't look completely out of place defensively as he has done this season. Had 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Looked like he belonged out there. It wasn't just like we were throwing him out there for the sake of it. It really looked like Grady Dick belonged out for the Raptors. Ultimately on the game, the Hawks probably outplayed the Raptors. Didn't shoot the 3 ball well, yet still, even though going 6 of 27 from 3, the Hawks win. Raptors go 15 of 31 from 3 and needed every bit of the positive 3-point variance to stay in this game. Now, it wasn't just, the offensive rebounding. Yeah, they got 5 extra possessions there. Turnover battle was the same. Where the difference was that the Hawks were extremely efficient in the paint. Both teams go 46% from the field. However, the Hawks go 6 of 27 from 3. The points in the paint battle is where the Hawks dominated here. The putbacks, in particular, were a problem for the Raptors. They register 76 points in the paint compared to our 52. And absolutely, the problems there, the problems were laid down for the Raptors, not being able to get any stops at the rim. Yeah, Poetl's out. That's a problem. I think it could have been better addressed with having Barnes play lower down. Like, I think, like Barnes started the season was exceptional defense when he was playing lower. And in particular, like, getting tons of rebounds. Like, there shouldn't really be a game where Barnes is getting 4 rebounds, especially when there's no Poetl. Barnes should be down there because that's where he's better defensively. Like, we see him get tons of blocks at the time as a help defender. He's effective as a help defender down low. 2 blocks today. He could continue to get blocks like that. He should continue as well to be piling up rebounds and getting more play time down low, especially when it's Thaddeus Young, who gets picked on so often and so consistently at the rim. But all in all, again, with the tank season, like, it's tough, guys, but it is what it is here. You got to take the moral victories where you can, and this is one where you can take it. You can find it. The Raptors played well. They played hard. They kept it competitive, even without RJ Barrett here for probable tanking reasons. They kept themselves in the mix. Fall at the last, but we move. We move. Good night from Scotty. Good night from Grady Dick. Those were the future players that we're looking at here. Let's see where this team can go. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe for more Raptors content like this. Thanks so much, everybody, for supporting the channel. I'll be back on Tuesday as Raptors take on the Chicago Bulls. Do not miss out. I'll see you next time.